and a naval war. Ugandan's navy is in Lake Victoria. So let's look at what the plan is. Is it to sail to Mombasa using boats and we go all the way to Jinja?
Hold my mic, yeah, hold my mic, 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 hold my mic.
Good evening, people. Welcome to Hold My Mic, the show where East Africa gives us content that even Netflix would reject for being too unrealistic. Tonight, confusion, confidence, and constitutional comedy. Let's get into it. So, we start this week with this Kenyan senator, one Cherargei Nandi senator to be specific, standing right here in Kenya, lecturing Tanzania on how to deal with crime. Yes, a Kenyan politician telling Tanzania how to handle security. Now that's like a Nairobi Matatu lecturing Germany about road discipline. And the confidence, now this is the thing, you can't look like Baron Silas Greenback of the villain in Danger Mouse and be doing this. I mean, look at them. Don't they kind of look alike? Except the thing is, Uyu Greenback, he knew he was the villain. So before you export advice, fix your own side first. Next, Nigerian lawmakers were in Nairobi for an anti-corruption workshop. And the trainers were, wait for it, Kenyan members of parliament. Now let that sink in slowly. Kenya hosting an anti-corruption class is like asking Bahati to release a song without clout, or asking a mosquito for malaria prevention tips. Now let's get into the real receipts. In the Kenyan Country Focus Report of 2025, the Africa Development Bank warns that systemic governance failures are costing the county an equivalent of 5% of its gross domestic product. That is the country, not the county. The report says that Kenya loses about 194 billion annually due to graft, misuse of public resources, and capital flight. We have over 3,000 stalled government projects worth 4.7 trillion trillion. Between 2018 and today, EACC has flagged 20 billion in questionable payments. The National Treasury admits that Kenya loses a third of its entire national budget to wastage, ghost projects, and misuse. And 96% of high-profile corruption cases, they collapse. Counties we have seen over time. Remember when they bought wheelbarrows for 109,000 Kenyan shillings, tea and mandazi for 1.1 million Kenyan shillings. Now, if corruption was an Olympic sport, I tell you what, Kenya wouldn't just qualify. We'd be hosting the World Cup and the after party. So, the Audacity Award. Parliament receives this week's Audacity Award. Outstanding achievement in irony. Now, the president said he does not regret telling police to shoot protesters on the leg.
I don't regret those comments at all, because the law allows the police to use force.
Apparently, Kenya is now doing human rights by body part. And the explanation, he says, it is allowed. It is using force. Sir, ugali is allowed, but you still don't mix it with yogurt. Now, look at this interview. Look at this face. This is not journalism. This is a face of, I don't believe your nonsense. Even the economy doesn't believe you. Now, here are the facts. Youth unemployment, 60%. Public debt, 10 trillion. Inflation rising. The shilling collapsing. 8 out of 10. Even the economy wants to appeal that grade. In the meantime, in Uganda, Museveni announced that the Indian Ocean belongs to Uganda. And if Kenya disagrees, there will be war. They're changing their clothes for war. War over an ocean from a landlocked country. Uganda doesn't touch the ocean. The closest they get to the ocean, ladies and gentlemen, is when tourists take pictures in Diani. We are looking over the ocean. We are sitting here. We are relaxed now. There's the ocean here. And a naval war. Ugandan's navy is in Lake Victoria. So Let's look at what the plan is. Is it to sail to Mombasa using boats and we go all the way to Ginger? Crazy times. But don't worry, Museveni is trying to run for another term. It's okay. However, these are the people who are threatening an ocean war.
It's the same water body that is used as drinking water. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a disaster that could cause an extinction of an entire community.
Because the English that is trying to put this matter here is confusing a number of us and making us miss a very serious issue that is affecting very many people, even in the countryside.
They're still fighting vowels. Give them a spelling bee, and the war ends immediately. They can't even spell. They need to focus on the agenda. All right, let's come back home. A UDA member of parliament aspirant promised to be the husband of all widowers in his constituency.
Mimi nitahakikisha wamama wote wenye ni wajane mimi ndio bwana yao.
Now, this is not governance. This is mass marital outreach. Are you building roads or building a cocoon of people who you can marry? All right, let's move on to something that's very interesting. Teach the Constitution in schools properly, not as a side note.
Tunasema watoto wa Kenya wasome katiba shuleni 2026.
When citizens don't know their rights, we end up with leaders who don't understand limits, who don't understand accountability, and who think something like shoot them in the leg is a policy. So this is actually a noble idea. So let's take a look at what has happened in just 1 week. A senator lectured Tanzania from Kenya. Nigerians came here to learn anti-corruption. A president defended leg shooting. An economy was rated 8 out of 10. Uganda claimed an ocean. Parliament struggled with English. And a UDA polygamy manifesto came out. East Africa is not a region. It's a group project where no one has the same syllabus. But if we teach the Constitution, think about it for a moment, maybe the story changes. Enough said. This has been Hold My Mic with Willis Raburu, and I will see you again right here next week where we can talk about the crazy things that are happening in this country with a different perspective. Make sure you hit me up in the comment section and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week.
Hold my mic, yeah, hold my mic, hold my mic. Hold my mic, hold my mic, hold my mic, hold my mic.